All right, good morning. It's 9 o'clock. We'll call the meeting of the Codington County Board of Commissioners to order for this Tuesday, May 23rd, 2023. All commissioners are present with the exception of Chair Lee Gable, who is absent this morning, unable to attend the meeting. So we'll go ahead and begin with Pledge of Allegiance, and I'll have JT lead us this morning.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much, JT. Call for public comment. Public comment may be submitted in person or via telephone at 605-882-6248 or at 605-882-6297. We'll take those. If you choose to call in, feel free to do so for public comments as well during the open portion of our meeting this morning. Just a reminder, if you have a cell phone, please silence it so it doesn't disrupt the meeting, and we'll move on. Is there any conflict of interest items for the commissioners on the agenda this week? None?
None.
Okay. Item number 4, action to approve the May 23rd, 2023 agenda.
So moved.
So moved.
I'll second it.
By Waterman, second by Schwer. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Action to approve the May 16th, 2023 minutes of the Board of Codington County Commissioners.
So move.
So moved by
I'll second it.
Johnson, second by Schwer. Any discussion on that? I see none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 6 is action to approve a plat resolution, K&V Peterson Edition in Compesca Township. We'll ask our zoning officer, Luke Muller, to come forward. Good morning, Luke.
Good morning, commissioners. I have, as you noted, the plat of K&V Peterson Edition. It is in K&V Peterson Edition in Bergs Outlot, Northeast Quarter, Section 11, Township 11654. You don't have your plat book memorized, that's Compesca Township. This is actually in Compesca Village. If you looked at it closely, it should strike you as an odd plat because it's a 1-acre plat. This is one of the few parts of the county in which you can have less than 35 acres. This is in the town district of, we have Compesca Village, Grover, Waverly, and then a portion of Rawville, which is zone town district. The minimum lot area there is actually as small as we can get to get a super. It's 20,000 square feet. So, designed to bless those towns that didn't quite stay incorporated. And so right now they're splitting off a piece of a formerly platted piece and making it 1 acre for a house or at this point a relative. But planning commission recommended approval back in January.
Okay.
Move to approve.
Second.
Move to approve by Johnson, second by Waterman. Any discussion on that item? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Just if you grant me just a little leeway here, I'll just give you a quick heads up, especially as commissioners. We've got a request for a conditional use permit. This kind of became aware of a section of our ordinance that allows, is it silent?
No,
There we go. Oh, hello.
turn it down just a little bit, Luke.
Just
There you go.
kind of became aware of a section of the zoning ordinance that requires a conditional use permit for certain essential services, such as transmission lines. And so for one, I just kind of allow an editorial note as a zoning guy. I'm not 100% sure why that's in there. I can't see a scenario where we would try to supersede the Public Utilities Commission on trying to do have power for our communities. But bottom line is, I've got a couple of requests in for some line work to make life, I guess, easier for the power lines and power providers in the county. I'm going to try to do it at a special meeting, but the time frame makes it to where it's probably going to be moot. I just would rather do it at a special meeting just because we're going to have to notify a ton of people. So people might just be showing up just to see what the heck's going on. But at any rate, Just kind of want to give you a heads up that has been, so you might have some folks asking about that over the next few weeks. At this point, I don't know for sure what we're gonna do on a meeting. As of now, I'm thinking our regular June meeting, but if I can wrangle board members enough, we might try to get it a few days ahead of time just to get that outside of that regular meeting. Just have that one on its own. So, or those three for that matter. Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
Thanks, Luke.
Thanks, Luke.
Good information. All right, moving on to the monthly reports. I'll bring up our emergency management director, Andrew Delgado. Good morning, Andrew.
Well, end of April, Sherry submitted the second quarter quarterly report for the LEMPG. May 2nd, I attended rapid needs assessment, which is my second to last advanced professional series requirement as one of the courses that I'm going to be required to complete, I guess. May 11th, Sherry and I attended EM 103. That's one of the newer classes that OEM offered. They actually fairly recently made it like a 24-month requirement to get that done within 24 months of hire as part of the LEMPG agreement. Pretty practical class, like actual discussing day-to-day type stuff and just lots of stuff that was good to know. So that was a positive experience. May 16th, we started preparing for the IMAT exercise. Full day on the 17th and half the day on the 18th. We had 13 personnel and there was representation from Watertown Fire Rescue, the Sheriff's Office, the Police Department, municipal utilities, as well as emergency management. And then there were an additional 9 people from the state and 11 IMAT members. And that IMAT was the Incident Management Assistance Team. That's the team that the state puts together to help augment local EOCs if a scenario exceeds their capabilities of handling it internally. Feedback from that was positive. Not only so the exercise was designed to like train and evaluate the IMAT team, but they specifically requested that we not send people who are necessarily familiar with the roles that they were put into. So I mean, it also created a lot of career development and professional development for our local personnel as well. So May 4th, a local business requested assistance in identifying feasible shelter locations for severe weather incidents. I did that. Another business asked me about a weather radio and set up. They had a bit of a challenging situation as far as, you know, how much signal could get in there into the building. So their radio actually wouldn't work. So kind of explained how the external antenna works and stuff like that. They should be good to go. They found a local business who would install that for them. So good there. Also doing some wrap up stuff with city and county personnel who are involved in the flood response. Just kind of going through the things that still need to be done for tear down, after action review to try to improve, you know, future responses. I mean, we determined there was a need for more formalized like flood action plan, or a flood response plan. So I'll be working with some people from the city to get that taken care of in the near future. And then we discussed briefly preliminary damage assessments last month. We requested them. I actually brought them out to the state when Sherry and I went out there on the 11th and turned them in. They had the due date of the 19th, but we had everything already. So we shared it with them. Total amount of damage that was assessed in our preliminary damage assessments was $658,318.86. The state actually wanted to validate some of that with actual photographs and, documentations if there were invoices or whatnot. Which isn't something that they've done typically in the past on preliminary damage assessments, but it sounded like there was a state that actually met the threshold and requested a disaster, but there wasn't actually a presidential disaster declaration declared. So they're just trying to make sure that they have additional documentation so they're able to verify the actual damage that's being claimed. So far, they were able to validate from us approximately $502,593. So that's what's going to be counted for Codington County for the preliminary damage assessment part. Even the sites that weren't validated will still be eligible for FEMA reimbursement, once they come in, and as long as there is a disaster declared for the flooding that happened this spring.
Okay, all right.
Any questions?
What's the timeline? You think that when they declare that? You never know.
I've seen them happen really quick, and then I've had that. I mean, last year's was like a month and a half, 2 months, because I think that. So it was May 12th that the storms came through, and I think it was the end of June when they declared, if I remember correctly, June 26th maybe was the actual declaration date, if I remember correctly. So
So you expect a couple months for sure, probably.
yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Any more questions for Andrew? Just so you know, you're going to see next week, you'll see the discussion of the burn ban on the agenda. Commissioner Waterman has asked that that be added to the agenda just for consideration. So
Absolutely.
do some checking on that this next week and see how conditions are. I know we're taking a lot of grass fires that are, controlled burns that are turning out to be out of control because the wind comes up and spreads them. So
Yes. Yeah.
something for people to be aware of. Okay, thanks, Andrew.
Yeah, thanks, Andrew.
Appreciate it. All right, moving on, monthly report. We'll get Sheriff Howell up here, give his report. Morning, Brad.
Morning. How's it going?
Good.
All right.
Morning. Sun is shining. You can't complain, right?
Yep.
Sure.
A little rain would be nice, but
The rain would be nice. Want to grab one and pass them on down?
Those Canadian wildfires under control. We'll see some sun this.
Right? Kind of nice seeing a little sun there. so.
yeah.
All right. Lee's not here, so we won't have it on the big screen, but we'll get started with the commissary monthly balance sheet here. You'll see the bank balance end of April 23 here, $25,053.79. At the time, there was $803.81 in the lobby ATM booking kiosk for a grand total of $25,857.60. Resident balances, $1,559.50. $2,891.20 in commissary items that were spent, and $21,406.90 in the fund balance for a grand total of $25,857.60. You'll see kind of leaves our total original investment at $15,000 there. You'll see on the bottom here, there's $4,389.94 in Securus Technology commissions. Now, our Securus telephone equipment, the agreement that we signed 5-6 years ago, all that equipment is finally paid off. So now all that commission is now coming back to the general fund here. So then you'll see at Prodigy, we earned $1,040.15 on our commission from our commissary items for the month of April, for a grand total of $5,430.09 for commission. So good on over to the next page there, our monthly balance sheet on our checking account. Bank balance end of April was $10,036.59. If you scroll down to the middle here, you'll see $34 in copy fees were collected, $8,688.09 in sheriff's fees were collected, and $425 in warrant fees were collected. Grand total of $9,147.09. Leaves our total back to our $889.50. And then on the last page here, we'll go over some sheriff's office activity and jail activity for the month of April. For the month of April, the sheriff's office responded to 539 cases of calls for service. 7 accident reports were completed. 54 warrants were served. 174 civil papers were served. 3,060 transport miles. Those 3,060 transport miles equals to be 11 trips and a total of 16 people that were transported the month of April. Scroll on down to the middle. Like I say, Lee doesn't have it up on the big screen here, but some jail activity. The average daily population for April was 49.17. Our high ADP was 55. Our low ADP was 42. On the 24/7, on the scram bracelet, we had 28 participants, 8 people on the remote breath, 40 people on twice daily PBTs, 54 people on the twice weekly UAs, and 1 person on the sweat patch for a grand total of 100. For a grand total of 49 people, roughly on the 131 there. Got my numbers backwards. 131 on the 24/7 program. All right. Down at the bottom of the page here, you can see on the out of county contracts in the month of April, we collected $9,157.68. Work release fees, we collected $2,520. 24/7 fees, we collected $6,423. And scram fees, we collected $5,066. No questions on that. We'll give a couple updates on a couple of projects here. Last year, the intercom project that we approved and started for was August, I think, somewhere in there. We still haven't gotten the supplies and the stuff for that. We talked to our vendor on that. He's hoping to get the final pieces of the project so we can come and get those installed. Like I say, that was last year's project. The 3 vehicles that we ordered last end of November, beginning December of last year, they still do not have a build date on them. We're waiting for those. Hopefully we can get our vehicles done and outfitted this year. Otherwise, it kind of puts us behind on our next ones. We do have a few vehicles that are getting really high on mileage, and I'm worried about some repair bills coming up here. So
What type of vehicles were those, Brad?
we ordered 2 Chargers and 1 pickup this year. Kind of figured we'd diversify a little bit in case we have this issue. Maybe one would come in and if the others. So tried to do a couple different ones. So, but none of them have a build date as of yet. So we have in a couple weeks here, one of my new hires, Dakota Dodds, will be graduating from the academy in Pier. June 2nd is his graduation date, so we're excited to have him be able to come back and join the team and get fully staffed. And you may have seen when you guys pulled up, a lot of squad cars and the garage doors open. The camera guys, the GTAC cameras that we approved a month and a half ago, they're working on, they're here for today, tomorrow, yesterday, working on installing all the car cameras and getting our body cameras outfitted so we can start using them hopefully here in the next day or so.
Great. Cool.
There you go.
Anything else?
That's all I got shaking today. So.
Any questions for the sheriff? Oh, all right. Thanks, Brad.
All right.
Thank you.
Yes, Brad.
Have a great week. All right, moving on to item number 8, action to declare 3 computers in the Register of Deeds office surplus to be destroyed. Brenda?
All right, so yes, they were 3 computers that she had replaced. They are prone 600s. And yeah, she's just asking for them to be surplus to be destroyed.
Okay, do I have a motion? Motion by Johnson. Second by Waterman. Any discussion? None. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 9, I think we're going to move that to exec. Is that correct? Or
You'll just, you go into executive session, then you'll see after exec if you'll come out and take any action on
okay,
that.
all right. So we're going to move that to later on in the meeting. Moving on to item number 10, note office closures for May 29th, which is national holiday, is Memorial Day. We follow the state's guidelines as well.
As per policy. So next Monday, May 29th, the courthouse and county offices will be closed. So in reference to that, also next Tuesday is the 5th Tuesday, so you will not be meeting. So we will put that burn ban information on the June 6th
Oh,
agenda.
yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay. Moving on to item number 11, action to approve abatement applications.
I do have one of those, and this was sent over to the city and approved with the city officials. It is property that qualified for the discretionary formula, but it was not applied. It was record number 9391. It is a TIF number 10, and the amount abated is $36,171.02.
$36,171.02.
Yep.
Move to approve.
Motion by
I'll
Johnson,
second it.
second by Schwer. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 12, action to approve claims for payment.
None today. And no budget supplements, personnel changes, travel requests. I don't have any of those.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wipe all 4 of those out.
Yep.
All right, item number 16, public notices of a possible quorum of commissioners could be in attendance at this next, probably the next 2 weeks, since we
Yeah.
don't meet next week.
There might be some, more than just one commissioner at some of the Memorial Day activities.
Mhm. Graduation, high school graduation's coming up. My daughter will be graduating this week, so I'd like to throw a plug in for her. Well done.
I can mention a few if you want me to.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So this afternoon at the airport, there's that open house from 4 to 6.
Mhm.
There's that ribbon cutting for the splash park, Thursday morning at 11:30. Also, there is a candidate forum next Tuesday evening. I'm not sure on the time of that yet, though, for city council members and school board candidates.
When is that?
Next Tuesday, the 30th, I do not have a time or a place yet, but I know it will be that day.
Okay. Let's take note of those. Possible quorum of commissioners could be in attendance at any of those events. Anybody have anything else? No? Okay. Moving on, 17 is old business. Anybody have anything for old business? Nope. If not, moving on to 18, new business. Anybody, anything for new business? Okay. Number 19 is our open public comments. Does anybody have any public comments? Members of the public comments, calling a second time, no public comments, commission comments. Nothing, quiet group today. All right, do I have a motion to enter into executive session? I have a request for subsection 1, which is discussion of personnel issues.
And number 2.
And number 2, consulting with legal counsel. reviewing
Move to executive
communications.
session.
Motion by Johnson, second by Waterman. Discussion, none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We are in executive session and we may possibly have action taken on item number 9 when we come out of executive session. We are in exec.